Hey guys, it's Corbin with the Wasatch Gear Review. Today we are going to be previewing a item that I like very much so far. Of course, this is just a preview. This is not the review yet. This is the Snow Peak GigaPower Auto Stove. Let's get into it now. So guys, it comes in this awesome little package. Tiny little thing. You can see the size of my hand. Basically fits in my palm. Go ahead and take the lid off here and pull the stove out for you guys. There's the stove. It is an auto lighting stove. You have the auto light feature right there. This bad boy is the winner of Backpacker Magazine's 2015 Gold Award. It's Editor's Choice Gold Award. It's a featherweight, super compact stove. Can't notice this thing if it's in your pack. I think, if I remember correctly, it's about 4.4 ounces. I'll weigh it on the screen here so you can see it when we start going through the specs. It does have, like I said, the built-in igniter, so you don't have to have a lighter on you. I still recommend, if you're going into the backcountry or even on a day hike, taking a lighter with you. You never know when one of these can malfunction. Okay, it is a replaceable igniter, so if it wears out, you can replace the igniter on it. They sell them separately, so that's always a great option. It is an isobutane stove, or best referred to as a canister stove, which a lot of people are trying to go even lighter weight by using can stoves, pop can stoves, cat food can stoves, and just using alcohol, denatured alcohol. I still am a fan of the canister stove. Just, you know, it boils water a lot quicker. And I'm not really a fan of waiting for water to boil. You guys may be different on that one. So, you know, it's really just a personal preference. I'm not saying one's really better than the other, because it's all in your preference. It's all in what you want. But I like to be able to boil water fast and get back on the trail and not waste time. Is the canister stove gonna cost you more weight in the long run? Yes, because you're carrying the canister of fuel, and they are pretty heavy. We can weigh the big one here. It's not completely full, so, you know, give or take, well, actually give more because it's not full, so it's going to be a little more weight that way for you. But I'm still a fan of canister stove. The stove works really well in cold weather. I've tried it out myself. Me and my dad were up in Naturalist Basin last weekend, and it got down to 25 degrees, and this stove performed great up there in 25-degree weather. It does get colder here in the Wasatch Front where I'm at. I haven't tried it in winter yet, so that will be coming soon. That'll all be a part of the review. Of course, this is just, again, like I said, the preview of the item. Just going to show you it. I will crank it up for you so you can see it running and all that good stuff. I do love the fact that it has the fold-out wires that will accommodate basically almost any size pot or pan you want to put on it, and they are attached to the unit. I do like that option quite a bit. The weight that they give you on the REI website includes just the stove. It does not include the little plastic thing, carry case, if you want to call it that it comes with. So if you want to save a tiny minuscule amount of weight, you could always take it out of this and just pack this. But then, you know, you might catch your igniter and bend it or break it. You could catch the valve adjuster to make the flame higher or lower or turn off the unit. You know, so I prefer to carry it in the Snow Peak container. It's just me, just my preference. Let's go to specifications, guys, and I will weigh this for you so you can see. And I think REI got it off just a little bit. Anyway, best uses, of course, are backpacking. The fuel type, of course, like I already said, was a canister. The fuel is isobutane/propane. Auto ignition, it does. The burn time with max flame. Okay, so if you've got this cranked all the way up, your burn time for 8 ounces of fuel is going to be 1 hour and 25 minutes, and that's cranked all the way. I never crank this thing all the way. It does just fine about a medium setting. The other thing I really like about this unit is it's not just for boiling water, for freeze-dried meals and stuff like that. A lot of them, you know, you can't control the flame on them. This one, you can turn it right down to a simmer, so you can actually cook with this thing if you want to, guys. If you want to make some soup and you don't want to burn it, if you're gonna, in wintertime, take some steaks up into the mountains and cook them on a skillet on this thing, you can adjust that flame so nicely on it, which I really like that option. So it's a great option to have. It is considered ultralight backpacking stove, so that's also good. Your average boil time with this is about 4 minutes and 48 seconds. So that's pretty quick, in my opinion. Your dimensions are 3.6 inches by 2 inches by 1.8 inches. And according to REI's website, this sits at 3.75 ounces. Now we're going to weigh it ourselves, and they do say that the weight is without this. So they're saying 3.75 ounces. Let's get a look and see what it really weighs. All right, guys, so here we go. I'm going to let that zero out. And we are going to set the stove on. So I'm getting 3.6 ounces, just the stove alone. REI says it's 3.75 ounces. I've had this calibrated, and it is dead on accurate. So, this went up to 3.7 because I touched it. Isn't that funny? So let's do this. Go off. Whoops. Back on. Wow, interesting. I've weighed this thing about 3 different times, and it's always come up 3.6, and now it's coming up 3.7. Isn't that interesting? So maybe REI is not as far off as I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought. So I had touched the side of it, maybe that did something weird to it. So 3.6 is what I'm getting. That's what I'm thinking it is. Now with the carry case, I will stick it in here, and so you can get an accurate ounces with the Snow Peak carry case. Okay guys, so there it is all packaged up. does give you some flame control instructions on it. So here we go, full weight with the carry case, 4.8 ounces, or 5, excuse me, 4.5 ounces. So that is absolutely ultra lightweight. I love it. Now, to get to the windscreen, which is purchased separately, okay? This does not come when you buy the stove itself. And in my opinion, you have to have this. You have to. If it's really windy, you know, okay, you don't have to. I guess I'm going a little too far there. But your boil time is going to take a lot longer if you don't have the windscreen, okay? So, let's see what it says, 1.9. 2 ounces, okay, it just went up to 2 ounces. Guys, we're looking at about 6.5 ounces for your stove, not including the canister of gas. That's pretty lightweight in my opinion. Now, let me just give you a few specs. Obviously, it's not going to be too much on this. I just gave you the weight. So, this is called the Snow Peak GigaPower windscreen. Reduce your fuel consumption and speed up your average boiling time. Okay? That pretty much says it all. Go to specifications. It is for backpacking. It is made out of stainless steel. The dimensions are 4.5 inches around by 0.6 inches, which is how tall it is. They say it weighs 2 ounces. Right on the dot, it weighed out at 2 ounces. So that's a part of the setup, I feel. It's pretty much something you gotta have. Now let me show you it set up with the windscreen, and then I can fire it up for you guys and you can see how much flame you can actually get out of this thing. So the way this works is you just find the way it fits over your pot stand. I've never actually had to put this on before. My old man was the one using it up in Naturalist Basin. So basically, if you fold up these just a little bit, not all the way folded, but just fold them up a little bit, they fit on much nicer. And it just basically sits right on top like that. Okay? So there's your windscreen. Now I'm going to grab the fuel and let you guys see just how much flame this thing will put out. Alright guys, so let me back up my tripod just a hair, sorry about that. Tilt it down just a hair so you can kind of see what's cracking. Now, I turn it a half a turn, and that's when you can hear the gas just barely starting to come out. Give it a click. Okay. You can even go to a lower simmer than that. You can really drag this thing down to hardly anything at all. Okay, that's about the lowest simmer you can get. Actually, I just got it a little bit lower. But I think that's about it. And if you really, if it was really windy, that would probably blow out. Even with the windscreen, because I mean, it's so minuscule. But now we're just going to crank it up. Now that, my friends, is some boiling power for the size of this Snow Peak stove. It's a GigaPower auto stove by Snow Peak, guys. I like it. I'm going to be taking this on my next backpacking trip. This weekend I'm going to be going to Packard Lake up in the high Uintas. So Wyman, Wilder, and Packard Lake on the Highline Trail. And I'm going to be testing this out again. I'm going to throw on the screen now a little bit of testing it out when me and my dad were up at Naturalist Basin, just so you can see it cruising out in the field. Other than that, guys, thanks for watching. Be safe and adventure on. So this morning I'm going with the tried and true biscuits and gravy. The old man, Graybeard, is going with the breakfast skillet. And we got our water boiling. Of course, you guys have seen my jet boil before, but I also wanted to show you guys my dad's Snow Peak. That is the Snow Peak stove with windscreen and an MSR Titan titanium pot. There'll be a review coming up on the Titan titanium and Snow Peak soon, so be looking forward to that. We're gonna get our eat on, and then we're gonna go get our fish on. Pile of food right there. Yep. Sun's up, giving us some love. We're at 30 degrees now, so we've raised about 5 degrees since last recording. Yeah, we're just gonna get our breakfast on and then we'll head out. Show you guys my dad's Snow Peak. That is the Snow Peak stove with windscreen and an MSR Titan titanium pot. There'll be a review coming up on the Titan titanium and Snow Peak soon, so be looking forward to that.